everyone. Tonight, as in every other episode, I'm pleased to bring you some of the worst best films ever made. Tonight, it's a special creature feature as we look at some of my favorite monster picks. Yeah, we've seen monsters before on this show, of course, but this episode is a really special creature feature. One thing they have in common, they're so bad, they're good.
Well, always good to see a monster come out of the closet. I don't believe I just said that.
That was a short clip from the camp classic The Brain That Wouldn't Die. It was gore-tastic because it counts as one of the earliest splatter films. But let's get the show started in earnest with another wonderfully bad monster pick. 1967's Creature of Destruction.
Did you catch sight of that creature? Don't worry, you will in a bit. Meanwhile, the focus is on the hot young leading man they got to play this part. Nice tuxedo, dude. I mean, Daniel Craig, eat your heart out. Huh? Ever get the feeling somebody is watching you? Max is right about one thing. Wow, for editing, continuity, special effects, but most of all, bad acting, this made-for-TV movie really is as bad, in a good way, as it gets. So, like the old dude's getaway car is a powerboat? Oh, darn thing won't start. Oh, look, the monster is chasing him now, really, really slowly. Yeah, it's coming towards him so fast that it will probably be sometime by the middle of next week before this guy gets attacked. But hey, what's the rush? Oh, yes. It could only be one of 3 buttons, buddy. All right, there it is. Ring the bell. That'll do it. Get somebody out to help you. Mm-hmm. Ah, the symbolic death. Now later, in Creature of Destruction, here's the swamp creature's welcoming committee. And here's the swamp creature. Yeah, there he is. Get him. But take your time about it. There's no rush. Yeah, apparently Creature of Destruction was a study in doing things really slowly. Meanwhile, in an undisclosed Californian location, a wasted-looking beauty queen gets carried away by an Air Force pilot in his uniform. Now, in case you're wondering, the white-haired guy is a hypnotist who is able to predict murders by a terrifying sea monster. What a coincidence! In reality, he is causing his lovely assistant to do all the murdering because she happens to be the reincarnation of the monster.
Dorina and I were together, at least in spirit. Your interference made her waver.
What?
You killed that spirit.
What do you gain by killing me? The worst you can be charged with is accessory to murder.
I gain the satisfaction that the one who shattered my world pays for the offense.
That's right, honey. Step in the firing line of my pistol so I can accidentally shoot you. Oh, yes. Oh, and the monster dies at the same time. How poetic and, cosmic is that? But isn't this, one of the weirdest films you've ever seen? Totally.
Oh, Dorina. I cannot let you leave me. In this ugly world, you were all that mattered to me.
Yeah, it's like deep love all wrapped up in a horrifying swamp creature and a gun and a delicate beauty. Soon this will all be over.
Soon we will be together.
Oh.
In spirit. Again.
Mm-hmm. I actually think this is the worst movie ever made.
Well, it's one of the weirdest movies that I've ever seen, but then again, it has some stiff competition. But now, a scene with a message. Okay, I think it has a message, and the message is... don't mess with the sisters, because they'll come back to haunt you. The movie is The She-Beast. It's a nasty-spirited movie from the early Terrible school. Check out this wicked warning from the She-Beast herself.
Ah, it looks like the countryside in Wales, and there's that little boy chasing his little friends. But menacing music in the background. Ah, something has gone awry. That's no little boy. The Castle of Horror. Here comes the aforementioned She-Beast. Oh dear, the peasants are revolting again. Or is it a witch trial? It is a witch trial. Oh, here we go. It's always good to have some clergy around when you want to burn a witch. Well, here we are then. We can't give a witch a proper trial without the men of the cloth. Wait, listen to the way she talks. It's like Monty Python. And the She-Beast, it would be no relation to a he-beast putting on a silly voice, would it?
Thou who will die, come to the Lord. On this day, be ye with your descendants cursed until eternity. Think not that ye are rid of me, for I, Vardella, will return. Vardella will return. The fight! Right, hold the fight! No! Let her die!
I'm not in the mood to watch the She-Beast get executed, though I know you probably are. It's a marvelously macabre little film, this one. 200 years after the She-Beast is tortured, stabbed, and then drowned, a young Englishwoman on her honeymoon in sunny Transylvania becomes possessed by her spirit. And not just any young woman, but 60s sensation, Barbara Steele.
What's the matter with you? Fast one's blood or something?
I almost wish they were. All I got was a 2-minute shower and an avalanche of rust.
Long live social democracy.
It was your idea to have a honeymoon here.
Well, the scenery is very beautiful.
Including Ladislav Groper, I suppose.
Including what?
Mine host. His name's on the board outside. He runs the place.
God help him then. He can't do much in the way of business.
God help us. Well, at least she's beautiful. I mean, who cares about the plot, right?
And that gives old Von Helsing a basis for a solid living, I suppose.
Right. Ah, we have a visitor.
Here is passport. Is in order.
Have you ever tried knocking, Groper?
No need to knock in People's Republic. No citizen has got secrets from brother citizens.
No citizen has any privacy either, it appears.
Privacy breeds conspiracy. Have a good night's sleep.
Thanks very much. I was wondering if you had another room.
You don't like this one?
The comic relief landlord. He's a bit of a monster himself. We'll see more from the She-Beast in another episode. Now our next monster is the creation of a mad scientist. You know those mad scientists, they're always up to no good. Just take a look at the 1966 creature feature, Curse of the Swamp Creature.
Deep in the rural swamps of Texas, the pathological Dr. Simon Trent is conducting experiments on the locals in an attempt to discover the secret of evolution.
You make your debut in the world of humans. My beautiful, indestructible fish man.
When a party of oil royal surveyors, comes upon his isolated laboratory, and he takes the final horrific step and turns one of them into a grotesque, amphibious creature.
All my commands.
This person is definitely not from Texas.
You will live when I say live, and you will die when I say die. Obedience is the key to survival.
Oh, well, maybe he is from Texas.
Obedience is the key to survival.
Yeah, that does sound like the state motto. Oh my God, what is this, a scene from Blue Man? Oh no, oh of course, no, that is got to be one of the greatest costume and makeup jobs of all time. It's the ping-pong-eyed monster.
Mrs. Trent!
Let me out of here! Open the door!
Here's the steel-jawed young hero, another reject from Central Casting. Brenda looks back and thinks about what it was like to be a cute cheerleader chick instead of an unconvincing amphibious monster. But in the time-honored tradition, the monster turns on its maker and feeds him to the crocodiles.
Brenda, it's me. It's me, Pat. You mustn't go on. I know that it was Simon that did this thing to you. Brenda, you mustn't listen to him. Look at yourself. You were a beautiful girl, Brenda.
You were a beautiful what?
Everything else that he's touched.
Don't listen to her. Don't listen to her. She hates you. She hates you because you have more power than she does, and she hates me.
This guy, it looks like he's coming in from one of those late-night Hollywood parties.
Only using you. You must stop, Brenda. Please. Look at what he's done to you. Look at what he's done. He's destroyed you, Brenda. You must stop.
Brenda's quite broad in the shoulders.
No. Somebody help me. No!
Oh, the humanity. It's too horrible to watch.
Oh, help! Help!
Well, he's putting up quite a fight. That was quite a dive. What's that bit of white in the water? Yeah, that seemed really convincing to go from the swimming pool to the murky swamp.
How fun! I love a good feeding frenzy. We're halfway through this monster mash, this crucial creature feature. But after the break, we'll have clips from Superman and the Arctic Monster. Such beautiful animation. Also, we'll enjoy the first ever stop-motion dinosaurs as seen in The Lost World. So midnight movie lovers, stand by for more monsters. Let's cut to the chase, film geeks. Or at least to the monster. Next up, a clip from the beautiful 1950s animated comic strip, Superman and the Arctic Monster. These days, we don't really associate Superman with monsters. I mean, he's usually battling some corporate sleazeball. But the original Man of Steel battled more than a few monsters.
Send the riot squad. We're in trouble.
Now we're taking it from the moment when the ice begins to melt around the huge prehistoric creature from the Arctic that has been shipped into New York on a crate.
Hello, Planet. Give me the city desk. Hurry.
Lois Lane is there on the scene when it happens, reporting for the Daily Planet. Which means, of course, that Superman won't be far behind. Notice how the instant the monster appears in public, the full force of 1950s law enforcement and military might is right there waiting for him. Fortunately, though, monster lovers, this is one of those prehistoric creatures that isn't affected by little things like machine gun fire.
No, I'm not crazy. Rush some men down here. Attention, all cars. Proceed to Fifth and Main at once. Chief, Lois is in the museum. Better get over there, Kent. Right. This looks like a job for...
Clark Kent knows just what to do. Whip into a phone booth and get changed into some blue tights. The underwear thing, I don't know. Now notice that before Superman goes and kicks alien buttskis, he makes sure to clean up the mess the monster made. Superman is public-spirited, you see, a good American from planet Kryptonite. He just can't stand monsters that don't clean up after themselves.
You'd better get back to your office where you'll be safe. I've got some work to do.
Yes, sir. And this is the best story in years? Well, chance.
Now there's Superman again to put everything back together and clean everything up. And look, he's not finished. Memo to self. Must repair damage to bridge before kicking prehistoric monster butt. What all-American public spirit. It's enough to make you sick. What? Yankee Stadium? Now, I guess Superman always has to win, doesn't he? I really wish he didn't. It tears me up. It's like the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. Just once, I'd like to see the bad guy win. Just once! Especially when he's such a beautiful monster.
You know, I'm not so crazy about these superhero movies. I mean, have you ever met a superhero? No. But have you met vampires or monsters or aliens? Of course you have. You may not have known it at the time, that's all. Of course, not all monsters in midnight movies were from planet Earth. Some of them came a long way to get here. Take Zontar, the thing from Venus.
Wait. Look here, Kurt.
The White Coat is played by Jeff Alexander, who we saw earlier in Curse of the Swamp Creature.
It's just as if it were never gone. It's right on orbit, functioning perfectly.
Get the Pentagon on the hotline. Tell them we're bringing the satellite down for a full examination.
Yes, sir.
Can you handle recovery procedures yourself, John?
Oh, yes. It's all programmed on the Cycloid computer.
In the 1966 made-for-TV epic Zontar, the Thing from Venus, a young employee of America's space program builds a shortwave radio set at home. On this set, he is somehow able to communicate with a monster from Venus.
Yes?
Guess what?
Yes, it's true. I am your only friend.
Uh-huh. Well, maybe he's your only friend, too. Yeah, I don't believe you either. You and your imaginary friends, huh?
We will.
What, we will?
It's late, Keith.
Oh, here's Wifey. Are you surfing on the net for aliens again, honey?
The satellite to Venus, boarded, and returned it to orbit. All within an hour. He's inside that circling laboratory right now, waiting to come down to us.
Mm-hmm. Come to bed, Jimmy. I think you need a little relaxation.
Please come to bed, Keith. You need some sleep, and you need it badly. You've got to snap out of this fantasy you've built up.
It's not fantasy. It's what I've been predicting for years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good instead of evil.
Good instead of evil? Well, that's reassuring. Later in this exciting tale, the young chap's wife gets involved. She dresses up in kind of a Star Trek outfit and goes searching for Zontar, who is hanging out in, of course, a cave.
I've come here to kill you.
Run. Run like you've never run before. Or just walk backwards slowly. I mean, it is up to you. I mean, whatever, right? Well, so much for that run advice. I guess she's just going to continue her little walking tour of the cave, searching for that demonic, gargoyle-looking beast from Venus. A little bit of FaceTime for the camera. Yeah, walk backwards, honey. Great. Good. Let's just burn some more celluloid. Ah, there it is. Yes. Looking like it had a pie in the face.
So that's what you look like. Santar. You're slimy. Horrible. Gone.
Hey!
Try to control me.
Them's fighting words.
Use your intellect on me. You think you're going to destroy the world. I'll see you in hell first.
Oh, Lord, Martha, indeed.
Now are you going to help me destroy him?
Well, best we finish it there. Because next thing you know, they'll be hunting down the monster and killing it. And if there's one thing I can't stand, it's a happy ending. So on with the monster show. Now you know, film geeks, some of my favorite monster movies are from the early days of stop-motion animation, such as this 1925 picture, The Lost World.
The dinosaur walks in like, am I in this? Am I in this scene? Okay, then let's dance. This 95-year-old film was the first adaptation of the book by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who, of course, also created Sherlock Holmes. Now, interesting, because even with all the dinosaurs around, here's the actual monster that was supposed to terrify audiences the most. The Ape Man. Ape men as monsters were part and parcel of the many B-movies until as recently as the 60s. Weird world, isn't it?
Goodbye for now. And watch out. Maybe you'll get lucky and spot a monster.